Welcome back to another episode on the MLD Balls page. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals. All right, so like I said, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals, one of my favorite teams to watch in the NFL. I could you not, this was a top three team I watched last season, and I'm happy that I'm going to begin this series with the Cardinals. I'm going to be talking about all 30 NFL teams before the season start, give y'all a little bit of just opinions on these teams. And at the end of all of this, I'll be doing my NFL standing predictions. And we're going to start this off with Kyler Murray and the offense. The Arizona Cardinals, their offense is on point. This is a team that I am not worried about at all offensively. Last year, they were able to put up points with the best of them. Um, Offensive line is something that always could upgrade. I hate the fact that the Arizona Cardinals GM doesn't understand his best player though. Kyler Murray had his best years when Rodney Hudson was playing center because he was like the shortest center in the league. And there was a center that I really liked in this year's draft in Willie Lampkin. I thought he was a perfect fit for the Arizona Cardinals. And they didn't even draft him at all, like not even with a fifth round pick, but we're going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals draft class. I loved it. I did like it. I really liked how they like revamped this team, especially defensively. I think that's what their entire draft was. But I mean, I don't hate what the Cardinals are doing. They got a good backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett. James Conner is probably in the debate for most underrated NFL player in the league. This is a guy who, ever since he was on the Steelers, he never needed an offensive line. A group power back who just he gonna find a way to get yards and produce, and he's also a good receiving back. Yeah, if you're into fantasy football, I think James Conner is somebody who you should always invest in. Marvin Harrison Jr., seeing him, he's gotten swoller. We'll see how that helps him with being on the field, but maybe the best weapon on this offense, and Trey McBride had an amazing year last year, and I believe he had one touchdown. So like I could this Trey McBride is somebody who I'm gonna be willing to take in the first round in fantasy, just for fantasy nerds. I'm gonna be referring to fantasy football quite a bit. Tell y'all how I think about fantasy football too. This series is gonna be a great thing for NFL fans. If you are a super fan of the league, I will be giving fantasy gems. I will be talking about my objective opinions on these teams, and this Cardinals team, I find it hard for them to finish last in the division. I don't know if this is the NFC West is a weird division. As I'm giving my thoughts out loud to y'all, read the comments a little bit, see what y'all think differently from me. I'll analyze what I think before the season, maybe week one, like before the at the end of preseason. But right now, this Cardinals team, they weapons is nice, man. Like I said, Trey McBride, he finished top three in fantasy last year at the tight end position with one touchdown. Like he's gonna have more touchdowns this year. So like imagine what he's gonna do if he had like 10 touchdowns. He finished top three with one. And that's crazy. It shows you how much production, catches, and yards he was having. And at the red zone, teams are all over him. And the Cardinals have a dual threat quarterback in Kyler Murray and James Conner, who is a great power back, so they don't really have to give him the ball. And that's just what happens. They got Quez Watkins to stretch out the field a little bit. Kind of play a similar role to Michael Wilson, who also is there to stretch out the field. Michael Wilson is another guy who's low-key underrated, but he's not as underrated as James Conner, because James Conner's like, he's almost as talented as a all-pro player. Michael Wilson is one of those underrated role players who makes some sneaky nice grabs when you watch the Cardinals, especially in the red zone. Not pure hands. I love his hands. Jay Zone's a possession receiver, kind of similar to somewhat to Greg Dortch, who's going to be mainly there to be in the slot, working the slot. But you're going to have Trey McBride as the main option working in the short field, while you have Marvin Harrison and Michael Wilson and Quest Watkins stretching the field. This offense is cool. James Conner's also going to be there underneath. This is a cool offense. The offensive line, like I said, once again, could upgrade. The tackles are decent. I really think the best way for the Cardinals to upgrade a team is getting a short center that plays good. This is a team that needs to overpay for center because your quarterback is short and you need to give him better peripheral vision. We seen that when he had Rodney Hudson. I don't know why they did something that smart and like ain't go back to it. Maybe they accidentally did something that smart on purpose though. I meant on accident though. Like they didn't realize that Rodney Hudson being that short benefits Kyler Murray, and it just happened. And like it's something that they don't see. If you are a part of the Arizona Cardinals and could go in the building and somehow like spread my word, yo, if you could overpay for Willie Lampkin, who just got signed as a UDFA by the Los Angeles Rams, I'd go out and do that if I'm the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know who else is a short center. Top 10 centers in the NFL 2025. Like let's see, out of all of these centers, who is the shortest one? Like that is literally, in my opinion, what the Cardinals need to do at the center position. Just see who is the shortest one that's good and overpay for him. You literally, all you need is a good alignment. It ain't like you need something special. But like I said once again, and it will be the last time, so I don't sound like a broken record, for these short quarterbacks, my best opinion for these teams is to get short centers, man. I can't really find what I'm talking about with the short center stuff. I'll just leave that alone. But that's it with the offensive side for the Arizona Cardinals, man. And this is a team that, similar to like 3 years ago, what the Panthers did the year they got JC Horn, they totally revamped this defensive unit. Man, oh man. Starting off with rookie out of Ole Miss, Walter Nolan, man. This guy is so explosive. You have to double team him. And Ole Miss had the best defensive line unit in football last year. And the fact that that's my like biggest gripe on him kind of shows you how good he is. My only weakness about Walter Nolan is that I thought that his teammates were also very good. And I think Ole Miss just had like a 2023, I believe, Georgia defensive line unit. That year where Georgia had Jalen Carter. The year when Georgia had Jalen Carter, basically, because this guy plays like that. The amount of attention that Walter Nolan brings just forces teams to double him. And while he's being doubled, he's still run stopping. He's still getting to the quarterback. And this is a Cardinals team that got a couple other players this year, and especially in the off season, such as Josh Sweat, who not only will be able to take advantage of those double teams, but excel with them, because you also have Calais Campbell, who will be at edge and in the defensive interior, because this is a team that also got Dalvin Tomlinson. Like, this is a team that their whole defensive line unit has changed dramatically. And that's what their biggest need was. Like, the fact that they got like need and best player available in the draft in one thing, yeah, that's a really good thing. Because like I said, this guy play like Jalen Carter. He has shorter arms for the position, and he's so explosive, and he's so like just explosive, man. It reminds me of Aaron Donald. Like, Aaron Donald is maybe the best defensive player I've ever seen in my life. So it's kind of crazy to compare someone to that. I'm not saying he's as good as Aaron Donald. I'm saying that he's Aaron Donald is 6'3", 290 with short arms, and is super explosive and has all of the same positives. So like that's just what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald, but I'm saying that Walter Nolan is a really good player, and I find it hard to see him not succeeding in the NFL. Like, I really do. And Walter Nolan might be blue chip. He might just be that good. Walter Nolan might be that good to where I don't see him failing on the Cardinals. And this is a team that has gotten the requisite pieces to fit alongside him. Next to Walter Nolan, a guy who the Cardinals drafted in the third round, in Jordan Birch, is a crazy good athlete who's going to be off the edge. He's super big. And the fact that Walter Nolan is going to be attracting double teams, you're going to have Calais Campbell, you're going to have Josh Sweat, and then on third downs or something, you're going to be able to put Jordan Birch, when Calais Campbell, like I said, he's older. So on the third down where you could just have somebody come in for a pass rush real quick, Jordan Birch could do that. He is so athletic that he doesn't have the best technique or refined moves, but he could learn that. He's 6'6", 300 pounds. Dude, he looks like Ted Hendricks. Like, he's that big. I'm not saying he's as good as Ted Hendricks, of course. Ted Hendricks has the whole defensive side of the ball award named after him in college. and Jordan Burch had 3 sacks. Okay, he's nowhere near as good, but his physique, his strengths is nowhere near like Ted Hendricks, but they're near Romeo Aquara. Great athlete, size, man. He's even very fast. So like his ability to get to the quarterback, it happens snap fast whenever he does get there, and he's a really good tackler. Like just being alongside Walter Nolan, he's gonna have a bunch of stuff blown up for him that is gonna be easy for an athlete who's as big as him to finish. And he's gonna have Calais Campbell. Like this Cardinals defensive line unit is something that has improved drastically. And a shout out to the Cardinals because, like I said, this is a draft that they just getting started. I ain't even talk about who they took in the second round. Will Johnson is actually really, really good, really good, really, really good. And the fact that he went in the second round is somewhat of a steal. When I did my mock draft, I did have him falling to the second round too, but it's because of his health. Like that's just what it is. While we are questioning his health, he ain't go to any of the NFL combine stuff. Like he said, nah, I'm too good. I don't need to go to the combine. Or he's saying, nah, I don't feel 100%. I'm not safe to go out and play. In either world it is, you know, it's not a positive that he ain't go work out. And his speed is something that is he trying to hide how slow he is? Because that's something that even when he was healthy was looked at as a downside. Like he isn't that quick of a corner at all, but his ability to play press man and his technique is so refined. I should have put Richard Sherman as one of his player comps, but I put Tim Duncan because of his technique. He plays the cornerback position the way Tim Duncan plays power forward. He plays press man. His technique is amazing. He's good in coverage. He got the height. He got the size. He's a cornerback. It just what's his upside? What's his speed? Are you always hurt? Like when I'm watching him play, like he is good, but like why am I watching so many Michigan games to get film and watch Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham, and Will Johnson? And I never see number 2 on the field. But when I do see number 2 on the field, I realize him, when number 2 is on the field, there's an impact. Like you see the difference. That's also what I liked about him missing games is the fact that I seen the difference without him. He's good. It's just he gotta play games because wow, if he could have stayed healthy, he's as sticky as like Patrick Surtain in coverage, JC Horn, especially press man. Like that is something that the NFL loves because press man is something you can't teach. You either have it or don't. It's just the physique of the position, the tools you have, and Will Johnson has all of those things. So he's somebody that if he works out for the Cardinals as soon as this year, this is a scary, scary team because I know Walter Nolan is going to work. I know Walter Nolan is going to work. And somebody else that they got is Cody Simon. I believe he was like a 5th, 4th round pick. He reminds me of Jayon Brown. He's a great leader. So, like, that's also why it kind of reminds me of Fred Warner and Luke Kuechly. He is so nice. He recognizes play. He's a good linebacker. He's a good tackler. You see that he was the leader of the Ohio State defense that won the championship, like that means something. And holy, like Cody Simon, I love the last name also, by the way. So it's just a cool last name, biblical, like one of the followers in the Bible. But holy, the team needs to follow him on the field and listen to what he says because he's somebody who just is really good at play recognition. And I think that this Cody Simon pick might have been a steal. Literally one of my favorite players while watching Ohio State. And his consistency is going to be what determines his play in the NFL. And I think that's something for every linebacker. The NFL is a league that is built to ruin linebackers. RPOs is to make linebackers second guess. Play action is to make linebackers second guess. Everything is to find how to exploit linebackers. Like that's what the NFL mainly is. And Cody Simon is a good tackler, a good run defender, is good at recognizing plays, and is really good in pass coverage. I wish I would have put pass coverage as one of his strengths, but when you are good in pass coverage as a linebacker, that's when I see the potential in you because this is a pass heavy league. And if you could do good, like I said, against pass coverage, You got real potential, man. And last player who I know that the Arizona Cardinals drafted, the fact that I know five of these players is good enough, right? Because they drafted a lot of people. Next up, we got cornerback out of Ohio State, Denzel Burke, who I love how he was a vocal leader on his team. Him and Cody Simon were both of the two vocal leaders on a championship team. And the Cardinals getting two players that could do that at college level, being role players on their team and buying in and learning, soaking game from the vets is something that, is a great sign for the team because if there's any two players on that championship team that could do it, it's the two guys who were the vocal leaders. So yeah, late round picks and could be possible gems for the Cardinals. Denzel Burke, I'm not as high on him because of his coverage capabilities. More like his physicality. He's really good at pressing people because of how physical he is and he talks. So like just that type of Jalen Ramsey attitude, the Sauce Gardner physicalness to where he should get a lot of flags. Like that's a problem, but like at the same time he's physical and he's good in press. So maybe he could learn some game. And this Cardinals team got some pieces on defense. They got a lot of potential on that side of the ball, man. I love, like I said, Walter Nolan, and we didn't even talk about the veterans and what was on his team last year on the defensive side of the ball because it's mainly going to be Cardinals fans listening to this video. And if I was y'all, I would want to hear about the new players first, man, like Cody Simon and things, because I want to see what fits around the rookies and Calais Campbell. Him and he's gonna be like a Swiss Army knife in the rotation. You're gonna be able to put him at defensive tackle. You're gonna be able to put him at edge. And when you have Walter Nolan, Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell, and Josh Sweat all on the D line at once, you got so much weight on the front four. And holy, Zaven Collins is another guy who he kind of plays similarly towards Jordan Birch. That'd be another good example for Jordan Birch. Zach, Xavier Collins. Yeah, this Cardinals team, man, this is a fun team because they got a lot of potential on the defensive front four, and they got players such as Sean Murphy Bunting, Buda Baker, Jalen Thompson, who are positives at the defensive back positions. So, like, I wonder what this team is capable of. Probably a team I don't know if they're gonna come in first place in the division, but this is a team that if Walter Nolan is as good as I think he is, they can make a playoff push. Because I know Josh Sweat is good, Calais Campbell is solid, and the rest of the pieces, if it was just one or two of them hit, that's a great team. Cody Simons, I know he's gonna work out at middle linebacker for this team. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I know he's a late round pick, but in pass coverage, he is so good and he's so aware. While Will Johnson, that's the X factor for this team. Will Johnson. Will Johnson is a second round pick only because of health. If health and that stuff wasn't a problem, you could have took him in the top 10. Like Will Johnson is that prolific at the cornerback position as a player, but it's just his health and his athleticism is scary, but his technique is amazing. Cardinals fans, y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. What y'all think about my opinions on your team, I guess. Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Garrett Williams, it's a decent corner. Baron Browning, it's a decent linebacker. This team got some pieces, man. Darius Robinson is a guy who they randomly took in the first round last year and didn't really know of him. Elijah Simmons is a rookie who, another rookie piece that they take in on the D line. This defense got a lot of potential, a lot of hope. While this offense, honestly, y'all, it might be a top 10 offense in the league. You got Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison. If he could have a little bit of progression, this is literally a top 10 offense in the league because I'm pretty high on Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's underrated too. I also wish that the Cardinals would just get him a shorter center, like I was mentioning earlier in the video, but that's enough from me, y'all. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a nice day, and God bless.